it out, but help me out. Mute your own self out. I appreciate it. My name is Phyllis Nash. I'm your Chief Sales Officer here at Wakana. Also, one of the four co founders. Glad to be here on this beautiful sunny day in Chicago. I don't know yet what the temperature is, but it's a beautiful day. I can say that. And before we get and bring on our speaker this morning, I'm reminding you to take paper and pen so you can take copious notes because you will be fed this morning something that you can use during your day, during your life, really. But before I get started, I want to remind you from our CEO. She says we will be having that flat belly coaching tomorrow morning at 7:30. 8:30 a.m. Central. So it'll be immediately after this call. We seldom go to 8:30. So 8:15, we finish here. You want to jump on that line and write it down, guys. I know you would need it to write it down. The meeting ID. I'm going to wait. I know you all are scrambling to get those pen and papers. So I'm going to give you a minute or two. But the meeting ID for tomorrow, if you want to be a coach in helping people take their lives back on that 21-day raw cleanse, one of the requirements is you must do it yourself. So hopefully you have a pen, and that meeting ID number is 852 1364 3371. So I will repeat it. 852-1364-3371. And I want you to know that the passcode is, and I can't say it, so I'm giving you a hint. It's the same one that we use on most corporate calls, and it begins with a 7. Why am I not just saying what it is? Because a lot of times we have Zoom bombers listening in, and we don't want to be interrupted. So if you don't know what our regular password is to most of our corporate events, again, it starts with a 7. Then get back with your upline, your sponsor, and they can tell you. That is the information for tomorrow's training on being a coach for the 21-day raw cleanse. And the requirement must be that you are doing it or you are going to do the cleanse yourself. So I'm going to get out of the way and bring up our own coach, Dan. He is our VP of Training and Development, and he is going to bring you some words of wisdom. So I'm going to get out of the way for him. And guess what, Dan? You can just close it out.
All right. Good morning. It is absolutely a wonderful day. The sun is shining on the outside, and I pray for all of those that believe that the sun is also shining on the inside. Well, we're just a few days away where we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Well, many of us do, and I understand there's some that don't. But we're going to be gathered around family. We're going to be gathered around friends, and our goal is to go and to have a good time. And so one of the things that is taking place, and I promise this is not about COVID-19, but it is, there is a little bit of revelation that I got as I've been thinking about this. One of the things that have been taking place is that there's been a surge. There's been a surge in COVID cases. There's been a surge in COVID deaths. Many people are being hospitalized once again. There are many outbreaks that are taking place in schools, in churches. Even one of the churches that I serve as a staff pastor has made a decision because not of outbreaks that have happened at the church, but within families that attend the church, to go back to virtual for a moment. Schools are shutting down. All of these things are happening, and there's this clarion call for individuals to be vaccinated, and not only be vaccinated, but take the booster shot. And of course, we know and understand that the whole idea around vaccination is to protect the body, from being to build up an immune system to fight off the virus. That's the whole idea. And then after a certain period of time, that protection begins to, um, what's the proper, it begins to become less and less. So they say, hey, you got to give yourself a booster shot. The purpose of the booster shot is to take the immune system, kick it back into gear again to build up the ability to fight off the virus. What we've known, what we have heard is that just because you got the vaccination doesn't mean you still can't get the virus, but it's supposed to minimize its ability, its fatality, minimize its fatality. And so when I was thinking about all of the things that's happening, and I was thinking about all of the things that we do in life and also in Wakana, one of the things I understand is that over a period of time, we build up a certain vaccination against certain things. I'll say that again. Over a period of time in our lives, we build up a certain type of vaccination for certain type of things. I'm not talking about the vaccination that is shot in the heart, in the arm, but I'm talking about vaccination of the heart, vaccination of the mind. And literally, we build up certain things to be able to fight off. So, for example, this coming to these calls every morning, Monday through Friday, that's a certain type of vaccination. We be listening to words of inspiration and encouragement. That's a certain type of vaccination. Listening to the gospel, it gives hope. So it's a vaccination against hopelessness. Listening, preparing yourself for class and studying. It's a vaccination against failure. So we build up these vaccinations, right? We build up these vaccinations to fight against different things that we will encounter in our lives. But there are moments in our lives where it seems like no matter how often we go to church, it seems like no matter how much Bible we read as our vaccination for our spiritual life, it seems like no matter how many trainings we go to, how many calls we jump on, at some point in all of our lives, it seems like the vaccination is not working and we need a booster shot. That's just the truth. That those of you that are married, you know that through counseling and all of those things, and through premarital counseling, it helped to build up vaccination to go against some of the things and some of the hardship and troubles that your marriage may encounter. But every now and again in the marriage, you need a booster shot. I have been an entrepreneur for the past 30 years, and there's been a bunch of highs and lows, and I'm grateful I've had more highs than I have had lows. But there's certain things that just happens in entrepreneurdom, if that's a word, that will cause you to want to rethink what you're doing. It'll cause you to say, maybe this is just not for me. It will cause you to want to go get a job. All of these things, because over a period of time, which is what happens with the natural vaccination, even with COVID, over a period of time, all of the things that you've used to build up your immune system against quitting, build up your immune system against failure, build up your immune system against rejection, and all of those things that you will encounter as an entrepreneur, at some point you get tired. At some point you're ready to take a deep breath. At some point you need a break. At some point you literally need a booster shot. And so today, over the next 6 minutes or less, I'm going to encourage you to begin to identify what's your booster shot. What's your booster shot? Because without a booster shot, it positions you to really fall into the trap of an unvaccinated body, which will ultimately make you susceptible more easier to sickness, which could lead to your fatality. You must identify your booster shot. You must identify it. Now, you may say, Coach Dan, well, what are you talking about? How do I identify a booster shot? I'm working in Wakanda, I'm selling, I'm doing all of these things. And some of us that's on the line, not all of us, but some of us may encounter certain levels of discouragement. Some of us have gone so hard, pushed so hard, and pushed so fast. Um, and the reality of the situation is, it appears that there's no movement. There's no movement. So now discouragement is kicking in. Fatigue is kicking in. Enthusiasm is starting to be lost. And truthfully, your faith in your ability to get it done is starting to weaken. And when that happens, most times, if you're not careful, the last resort is to just say, I quit. But this is where the booster shot is so important, because what the booster shot does is it immediately provides a sense of a greater level of protection against whatever it is that's coming at you. So here is a few ideas for a booster shot. Number one, take a 48-hour break. Take a 48-hour break. For some people, just stepping back from the process to recalibrate, to readjust, to reassess, to move away from all of those things that are constantly, from your perspective, causing you to be fatigued, deal with fear, all of those things. Just pull back some. And when you pull back some, you're able to rest your mind, rest your body, rest your spirit, because those things will help you now to resettle and then go back in a fight. I know an individual that takes one of my business colleagues. He owns several restaurants in the Southland area, and literally once a month, he takes a 1 week vacation. Once a month, he takes a 1 week vacation. That's his booster shot. I know a pastor that has been telling me for years that once a month, I should take a weekend. Once a quarter, I should take a week. Once every 6 months, I should take 2 weeks. And once a year, I should take 4 weeks. He says that doing this literally becomes like your booster shot. It helps you to get your body and get your mind and get your spirit ready for what it is that you have to go again. Another booster shot for some people may be a movie. and this, I don't know, it could simply be shutting things down, go to the movies. It could be going out on a social event with your friends. Whatever it may be, it could be reading a book. But I need to encourage you, because what is happening from various doctors that I'm speaking to, from various pastors that I'm speaking to, the pressure of life, the pressure to perform, the pressure and the anxiety that's dealing with the society and the culture that we're living in. Individuals are breaking down first and foremost mentally, and you can't even get appointments to see someone for mental health because they're so backed up. And so it not only breaks down first and foremost, it breaks down mentally, it breaks down emotionally, then it begins to break down physically. This is why, as I get ready to close with this last 60 seconds, this Flat Belly Challenge 2.0 is so significantly important, because what this does is that it creates an opportunity for you to increase your energy level, decrease the toxicity that's in your body, increase your mental clarity. And for many of you, guess what this is? This is the booster shot that you need. Some of the fatigue comes from obesity. Some of the fatigue comes because of all of the stuff that you have going into your body. And as a result of this, it's causing everything else to break down. And so what I want to encourage everybody let's get on this flat belly challenge 2.0. Let's change our lifestyle. Let's allow that to be our first booster shot so that we can increase in all of the areas where we need to be increased, and we could decrease in all the areas we need to be decreased. And that is in waste, and that is in weight. And so as you move forward today, I want you to think about when you get to that moment where you say enough is enough, I'm tired, I'm this, that, and the other. I want you, your takeaway today is to identify your booster shot. Identify that very thing that will give you a burst of energy, that very thing that will cause your mind to relax. Identify that, and when you do so, I assure you, you'll be ready to get back in the fire, back in the fray, and continue to push in order to make it a great day. Now, as you go to Christmas, as those of you that will connect with your family and friends on Christmas, of course, we always say give the gift of health. Amen. Give the gift of health this week by sharing your products, sharing what it is that you're doing, and so that you could continue to build on a momentum that you've already started. All right. Well, listen, I was told to close you out. I hope that this was helpful, at least to somebody. I want you to have a supernaturally wonderful, kind of day. And until next time, as always, prosper.